17 seconds. We're coming up on a go for main engine start.
10. CLS is go for main engine start.
We have main engine start. 2, 1. Solid rocket ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of Endeavour on America's 50th space shuttle flight.
Most kids have the childhood dream of going into space and doing the unthinkable. This is exactly what Dr. Mae C Jemison did, which sparked a new path. Jemison's career in engineering and medical research paved the way for minorities and women into the STEM field. Men and women of color had difficulties involving themselves in the STEM field during this time because they were associated with low status and low skill. The proportion of women in the STEM workforce grew to 23% in 1990, and by 1980, 37.2% of all STEM degrees were awarded to women.
Mae C Jemison was born on October 17, 1956, in Decatur, Alabama. During this time, the Montgomery boycotts were going on in her home state. As a child, Jemison loved science and spent hours in the library reading about space, astronomy, and other aspects of science. Her parents were always extremely supportive and wanted to see Jemison succeed. Most of her teachers were the same. However, it was a little different to see an African American girl reading so much into science in the space program. Jemison graduated early from high school and attended Stanford University to earn her Bachelor of Science degree in chemical engineering. After her time at Stanford, she went on to attend Cornell University Medical College. Jemison was involved in many extracurriculars and most importantly entered the Peace Corps. After many years of working in the medical field, she finally decided to pursue her astronomy and astronaut dream from when she was a child.
Jemison's goal was to be part of the NASA program. In 1961, the Soviets were the first to go into space. This caused further tensions between the USSR and the US. Apollo 11's successful landing on the moon inspired all Americans and especially Mae Jemison. Unfortunately, she was set back due to the fact she was an African American woman. She applied for the NASA program with her outstanding honors, extracurriculars, and background. She was selected on June 4, 1987 to take part in the 5-year training with 14 others that were chosen from roughly 2,000 applicants. She was the only African American brought into training.
On September 12, 1992, Jemison took her first trip into space aboard the Endeavour. On her 8-day mission, she conducted experiments dealing with weightlessness and motion sickness on herself and the rest of the crew.
When Jemison returned, she realized how many doubted her throughout her time in grade school, college, and even during the present time. She wanted to share with others that minorities and women who were looked down on can make a huge difference in the world if given the motivation and opportunity. Jemison had to overcome multiple things due to being the first African American woman in space. Women were not always supported when choosing to take on their dream job. Multiple women faced this issue, but being an African American woman made it that much harder. Jemison struggled to find equality in the classroom. She had teachers that would simply act as if she wasn't there. She faced racism and rejection from the NASA program before she made a name for herself.
Some of her honors included the 1988 Essence Science and Technology Award, Ebony Black Achievement Award, and was named the Gamma Sigma Gamma Woman of the Year. In support and respect, the Mae C Jemison Academy was named after Jemison. All of her accomplishments, honors, and academic achievements caused her to have a huge name in the African American and women's community.
Dr. Jemison helped create the 100-Year Starship organization to promote space research and encourage young minds. In 2002, Mae C Jemison gave a TED Talk about how science and the arts should be integrated rather than separated. She wanted to remove the idea that science is purely analytical than creative. She has recently been on PBS sharing her life story and how fear is the only thing holding people back. Dr. Jemison has written many children's books about outer space. She is active on social media by having question and answers and tweeting about being politically and academically involved in society.
Houston, Endeavour, switch you in all.
Roger, roll, Endeavour.